The movie starts with two recent, freeing criminals who are about to kidnap somebody. To do this, Tom and Mark steal a truck from public parking, then they change the numbers on it so the police can't track them. Then they go to a hardware store where they buy film soundproofing material, wire buckles, and other tools needed to detention of the kidnapped, rented a dilapidated house. Apartment dwellers break and get out. Bed covers the walls with soundproof and close windows. With fully insulated panel, part of the outside world, they enter forest and hung a red cloth over one of the trees to know where the ransom will lie. The boys dig a little loss for internal cash flow. Trucks with their cling film and change clothes complete the preparation for removed. The next morning they came to town center and wait for them to stand out as soon as a pretty girl passes by. Tom and Mark rushes car, chase her, throw a bag on Stella's head. They dragged her into the car and handcuffed her. She has a metal lock for the prisoner. Do not escape to prevent tracking. Girl Tom pulls the drum out his cell phone, but saying so just in case. Very practical. Upon arrival at the rented apartment on the day, the kidnappers handcuffed the girl to the bed. Then they changed Stella's name, clothes. Mark took some pictures. Prisoners front a new diary after collecting all the clothes in the kidnappers' trash bag. Change clothes and wear a mask to avoid Stella to recognize their faces. Back to the room with the prisoner. Mark asked for his father's email address and mobile number to contact him and demanded ransom. Moments later, the kidnapper copied photo of the girl on a removable drive and go to an internet cave to contact her dad before leaving. He asked Tom to check Stella and her status all 10-minute. The instructor obediently completed, request from a more experienced criminal, and look in a room to make sure that the girl is still alive. A few hours later, Mark came back. Go home and bring your cell phone. Need to contact Stella's parents. No, they have to see the status of prisoners. Where the boys go is room. Let the girl drink something. Mark asks not to scream and shoots him. Stella gagged, but she immediately called for help. Shut up, kidnapper. Remind her that they can hurt her and people won't hear it. Understand that it is better to obey. Calm girl drinking water and studying captive rules in her case. She has to go to the bathroom. She has to show a special gesture. She then shows one finger if she wants to go in small, if she wants to grow up. Learn Stella's rules. Immediately showed a gesturing finger, but she wants to go to the bathroom. People use convenient form plastic box for this, so no remove the captain's handcuffs. Not long after, the kidnappers decided eat, but Tom is not in the mood. Mark tie a comrade and stuff food in his mouth. He understood that it was tense and suspicious guy. AC to accuracy, but it's too late. Retreat, and he must finish what he's starting after dinner. Mark comes back cybercafe right after comrade. Let Tom look at the picture of the girl and her colleagues in her frightened eyes. Sympathize. I checked the girl and approached her. Stella showed that she wanted to use the restroom again, but when Tom took off his mask, turned out the girl must go to the big kidnapper, bring a bucket and release some daughter. She's uncomfortable and can't concentrate it, so she asked him to turn away. Right after he did, Stella hit guy on top with a bucket and draw an unmasked gun in him. The girl's face recognizes her ex-boyfriend Tom that she met it took months before he fell behind. She threatened him and asked to be released. But Tom has been unable since then. His accomplice, Mark, controls everything. At one point Stella shoots and stuns. Criminal. Even so, he can still throw the girl in the bed, took the gun and shackles her again. He warns her not to speak. Mark, what happened if none took both of their lives? Partner will be back soon. Apartment, and reported that the girl the father does not want to pay. Mark asked Tom to sleep. The most difficulties are ahead, and they will need, forced to wake up a few hours later. A friend and share a plan to book. Pressure on dad, but take the camera and the pruner. Go back to the girl's room to record a video for his father. Mark wants to cut Stella's finger and affirms that she turned to my father. The girl in tears asked to stop and announced a pregnancy. Since then, 4 months. Hearing this, a shocked Tom asked him, partners stop, and they leave. While Mark was copying and watching video was taken, his partner realized that Stella is pregnant with him. It's time. Feeding the girl, Tom is so worried that he forgot to wear a mask. But the caution mark shows him Mark. Try to feed Stella, but she asked. The second kidnapper does it, he rejects her ask and do its job at the same time. When Stella and Tom were scared when they found a shell on the ground, the couple realized that this evidence can expose them and Mark will take. The life of two Toms tries to be light approached the bed, but Mark noticed her strange behavior. Fortunately, at some point, a spoon fell on the ground, and Tom picked it up. Hide the socket in my pocket. After feeding Stella, Tom rushed to delete the evidence and go to bathroom. The guy threw the shell on the ground toilet and flushed the toilet in the hope that the problem was solved. After a while, it realized that the socket is always at the bottom of the toilet and tried to get over it. All efforts were in vain, and Mark started to suspect that something is wrong. Partner broke door, so that Tom has no choice, and he tried to swallow the bush, save herself and Stella's life. Mark even finds it strange that his partner was in the bathroom, but he no smell at all right after the partner leaves. Cybercafe, Tom checked the calendar, and again convinced that Stella pregnant with him, go to the room of the girl he requested, explain why she's hiding, and if it's a prank. Stella let him touch her belly and blame the guy for leaving her there, the most inopportune time. Tom admits he didn't kidnap her. By luck he knows that girl had a rich father and told Mark her at some point. Stella started to feel sick, and she almost choked. Tom frees her to save her and the girl, seducing him. Turns out all this is a distraction to seduce kidnapper as soon as Tom is handcuffed. Stella tried to call for help, but all failed attempt. While the guy tries to get the key lying nearby, the girl called the police. Realized that they won't help him, Stella went back to the bedroom to pick up keys, while Tom noticed that the pipe near the bed is broken and waiting for the girl to come closer. As soon as she crouched down, he hit her inside her head and knocked her unconscious, put the girl back in bed. Tom meets Mark, who is back apartment, and found out that everything ready for the next action. Tom rushed to the parking lot to get Valve closer and find documents. Confirm Stella's pregnancy history. He understands that the girl is not lying, and it's really his baby, while Mark frees his captured legs and arms and pay attention to mobile phones which fell out of my pocket. Angry criminal interrogation. Girl, and she called Tom's name. Continue the question with Mark of passion, knows that Stella and Tom, familiar by the way they met him, literally angry and head banging, leaning against the wall. Suddenly he noticed a bullet hit the wall and realized that something more has happened here. Learned everything from Stella. Mark realized his partner couldn't confidence when Tom comes back the apartment. Her partner is trying to talk to him and see if he wants to confess. Anything for him. Both are very worried, but don't let walked away and didn't report that they know a little more. Mark understands that his partner can't to trust because he hides his getting to know Stella and all what happened in the apartment in time, his absence. Everything is ready for the future, so the kidnappers give the girl an injection, and right after she fell sleeping, they took her out of town. When he arrived at the old boathouse, the kidnappers chained the girl up frame. Mark asked his partner to hand over handcuff keys since he left needed it. It also revealed that the original plan is changing. It was planned that Tom will stay with Stella and chase her while Mark goes to get money. Now the partner wants the guy to go with him. Tom is afraid that Stella won't do it exist if they don't come back. But that didn't scare Mark at all when he came forest. Tom doesn't trust a strange and mysterious partner. Before getting out of the car, he inserts battery in Stella's cell phone so that they and the girl can be found. Then the partners dive in the forest and followed the tree where they were ordered to leave a ransom note that no one around. Mark asked Tom to come tree and money test. The boy believes they have been cheated because the briefcase was empty, but it turned out that it's all just a trap that Mark set up. Stella's father is somewhere else, and the forest will become his partner's grave. Tom realized he only had a few minutes to live and make Mark remember knowing they start their friendship. As soon as the kidnapper dies, beware the guy pushes it and tries to escape. Mark shoots him and hurt the guy, but he escaped before his partner comes closer. Ransom Mark changes received the car and the clothes, then he back to the houseboat. He wants to get rid of the last witness to the crime and prepare to give the girl for her go. Sleep forever injured Tom arrives in time and attacks his partner in the head. Mark shot Tom. Once again makes me unable to get up. Stella took advantage of the war between them and kicked Mark's leg. He fell and dropped the weapon from his body hand that Tom immediately picked up and shoot his partner, deprive him his life with my last bit of strength. The injured tour guide pulls out the key, Mark's bags, and throw them closer. Girl, Stella, rest and stay by my side. Tom saw how he fell. Rest forever, left the old boathouse on the girl, found a car with a lot of money. Relationship with father is bad and ahead is the birth of a child. Need care and care. The ransom is enough for Stella to start a new life. Realizing this, the girl calmed down and left with a smile on her face to meet a better future.